this glass of water. It's boring, right? It's free. It's everywhere. You turn a tap and it appears. But to the smartest, richest, and scariest investors on Wall Street, this isn't a drink. This is the next Bitcoin. This is blue gold. You know Michael Burry, the guy from The Big Short, who predicted the 2008 housing collapse when everyone else thought the economy was fine?
I am betting on water.
Burry isn't betting on housing anymore. He's not betting on tech stocks. He's betting on water. And he's not alone. Right now, hedge funds are quietly buying up the rights to the water under your feet.
We operate globally.
They are banking on a simple, terrifying math equation. The world is getting thirsty and they own the tap. To understand the heist, we first need to break your brain. We are taught in school that Earth is the blue planet, but here's the catch. 97% is useless for drinking. Of the 3% that is fresh, 2% is locked in ice caps, although we are working on melting those pretty fast. That leaves less than 1% of all water on Earth available for us to actually use. And here's where the economics get messy. Water was considered a public good. It belonged to everyone, like air.
Mine!
But you can't make $1 billion selling air yet, so we invented water rights.
We've reviewed the contract thoroughly.
This is a legal piece of paper that says, I own the water in this river or under this ground.
Ceiling.
In the past, these rights were owned by the people who actually used the water. It was boring. It was stable.
Run!
But then, the 2008 financial crash happened. Wall Street realized that stocks can crash, housing can crash, crypto can vanish. But you know what doesn't vanish? Demand for survival. They realized that if they could buy those boring pieces of paper, the water rights, they wouldn't just own a commodity. They would own life themselves. So, how does this robbery actually work? Let's look at the testing ground, Australia. Australia faced a massive drought. The government had a great idea. They decoupled water from the land.
Another sale!
Before, if you bought a farm, you got the water. Now, the water was a separate asset. They thought this would encourage efficiency. Instead, it encouraged investors to be predatory. Investors bought the water rights when it was raining, and prices were cheap. Then, they simply waited for the sun. When the farmers became desperate, the investors sold the water back to them at a 500% markup. One Canadian pension fund made millions trading Australian water without ever planting a single seed. But Australia was just the beta test. Welcome to the American West. Here, the situation is even weirder. It's called buy and dry. In places like Arizona, hedge funds discovered a loophole. They bought cheap farmland with access to aquifers. They aren't farming corn, they are farming government subsidies and water. Access. They drill deeper wells than their neighbors, suck the aquifer dry, and sell the water to nearby cities that are running out. It's like the movie There Will Be Blood, but with H2O. And legally, there is almost nothing stopping them. But in December 2020, things got much darker. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange launched water futures. For the first time in human history, you could gamble on the future price of water just like you gamble on oil, gold, or pork bellies. Proponents say this helps farmers hedge their risks, but critics point out the obvious: danger. If water is a traded commodity, the market wants the price to go up. Think about it. If a hedge fund holds $1 billion in water futures, do they want a rainy season or do they want a drought? This aligns the incentives of the world's most powerful money against the basic needs of the human population. And climate change is their best business partner. As the planet heats up, water becomes scarcer. Basic economics, scarcity equals value. When utilities get privatized, the price for you goes up. The market is efficient. It allocates resources to those who can pay. If that's an almond farm in the desert or a golf course in Dubai, they get the water, you get the bill. So is it doom and gloom? Not entirely. Water markets can encourage efficiency. If water costs money, maybe we stop growing almonds in the desert, but there is a fine line between efficiency and extortion. And right now, Wall Street is betting that by the time we figure out the difference, they will already own the pipes. The next time you hear about a drought on the news, ask yourself, is it just nature? Or is the invisible hand of the market turning off the valve? If you want to know which resource they are going to monopolize next, make sure you subscribe.
Wait a minute!
We are digging into the housing market conspiracy next. You don't want to miss that. Thanks for watching.